Hi viewers, my apologies for the crappy natural daylight, but a Christmas tree has taken place of my studio lamp. Anyway, there was a couple recent events that inspired me to make this video about coin collecting versus stacking. Now I know the title just says silver, but it could also include gold, but it just sounded like a very long title. Anyway, so one event that happened recently was a visit to my LCS, and I can't remember how many years I've been going there, but I've seen this same thing happen many times. Anyway, I'll tell you what happened. There was a couple came in while I was there with a coin collection to sell, which had belonged to the woman's late father. And he went through it and offered them a price, and the husband obviously wasn't too happy about that price, but the lady was, and they did a deal. And I spoke to them briefly after, and showed her some coins that I'd picked up myself, and I'll show you those now. And basically the collection she'd bought in was nearly all non-silver, non-gold. It was all copper, nickel, copper, just coins that had no intrinsic value. And what I showed her was these 4 coins, which they're highly reflective, but actually it wasn't these particular 4, but it was 4 like this, and that's a Charles and Diana crown. And and I said to her, I said, these 4 coins are worth £1. I said, because they've got no intrinsic value. And anyway, I think she was then quite glad she'd done the deal. But anyway, now many of us in the UK, myself included, did collect things like this because we thought they would one day be worth money. I mean, we all know, if you're in the UK, that the Kew Gardens was worth money, but I still got a few, but I literally sold £100 worth of these collector coins. They were, circulating coins. They were £1 coins, £2 coins, 50 pence, whatever. Paddington Bear there, where is Paddington Bear? And I sold £100 worth to my LCS, and I got £105 for them. So I did make a little bit of profit, but in reality I hadn't actually made any profit because I'd been collecting them for years. With inflation, the value of that 50 pence, I was getting less for it. So in reality, I probably lost out. And right, let's move that out of the way. Now, so many times I've seen people come in with, for example, collections like, let's move my cup, this, when I've been in there, and they see a load of old coins and that they've inherited from somewhere, and they think, that must be worth money, that's from 1800 or whatever. And unfortunately, the reality of it, there's some Edward the 7th pennies there. The reality of it is that these were produced in their millions, and unless you've got something like that in uncirculated condition, then it's literally worth its weight as copper. And I can tell you, my LCS has literally buckets of these things all going off to melt, all for the copper content, because that is all they're worth. And what else to be up in here? Let's have a look. Yeah, literally, when I was last in there, he literally had a bucket of these, 67 pennies. Very attractive coin, and I don't know why, I'd have to look into the history, but I think a lot of people collected these in 67 for some reason. Whether the price of copper had gone up or something, I don't really know. But literally, that's not 67, but literally, he has buckets of these, and obviously he will only get melt price for them. So the price he pays you is going to be less, because he obviously has got to make money out of it, you know. I don't know what else was in there, but literally, you know, all these old pennies, you know, there's a Victorian one there, you know, are literally only worth their weight for copper. I mean, there's a Vicky Slick. That's what you call a slick, that one. Can't even see the reverse. Yeah, so people collect these things. Now, there's nothing wrong with collecting, you know, if it's as a hobby. I mean, I've done it myself, but I soon came to realise that, you know, if you want to collect coins, then really, if you want them to hold value, they've got to be made of a precious metal. Last time I was in the LCS, he had a big box with some great big silver-looking coins from the Royal Mint. I don't know, they were probably 10 ounce. They were oval-shaped, all in their custom capsules, and they were in a pile to go to a boot sale or something. He said they're worthless. He said, I can't, you know, they will only go to a collector. And that is the issue with these collector coins. Let's have a look at this one, for example. I'm going to take it out of that because that's very shiny. This is the 77 Jubilee Crown. Absolutely millions of them minted. And what are they worth? I'll tell you exactly what they're worth. 4 for £1. They're worth their face value, which is 25 pence. I've got a feeling that the stamps might be worth more. Some George stamps that came free with the coin. And so this is the problem, you know, when someone inherits a collection, if it's all, you know, copper nickel stuff, there's Charles and Diana, there's an Isle of Man kitty, you know, they or it's old, you know, they think, oh, it's old, it must be worth money. Oh, there you go, there's a little replica of a gold guinea, which obviously isn't a gold guinea. But yeah, there's literally, people see these old coins. Oh, we've got the ship halfpenny there, is that? Yeah, looks like a dug one. But they see these old coins and they think, oh, it's old, it must be worth money. And the reality is, they're not. And, you know, these types of coins, the only value they have, well, they have an intrinsic value, well, not an intrinsic value, a face value of 25 pence each. Although that's, what does that say, 5 pence? Yeah, 5 pence. But I think they are worth 25 pence, but anyway. Or they have a collector value. And the you know, the amount of people who collect these is extremely limited, you know, in comparison to people who collect silver or gold. There you go. I thought that was quite appropriate there. Happy holidays. You know, these have an intrinsic value, so always have their value as gold or silver, whereas the others don't. Right, let me move this out of the way. Right, time for a quick slurp, I think. I'll be right back. Yes, now I'm sure that our American counterparts have similar commemorative coinage struck from non-precious metals, and I think they're what's called clad, whereas ours are typically made out of copper nickel, and they are of course easily identifiable over a silver one, because let's put Charles and Diana down the slide and you'll see just how fast that goes. And for those of you who haven't seen a silver coin go down the slide, let's put Robin Hood down, nice and slow. So they are, I mean, you can actually tell by looking at them But for someone who's not knowledgeable, it's a very simple test to do. Now, why did I buy these, you're asking? Well, some of you already know the answer to that, and it's because I wanted them to make these, the little spinning tops, who some of you will have seen. Now, these coins were, along with many others, were struck in both metals, both in copper nickel, as per this one, and in sterling silver. For example, this copper nickel one, which Elizabeth and Philip, whatever it was, 1972, it's got EP, well, it did have EP, but I drilled a hole through it. This is the copper nickel version, which cost me 25 pence, and this is the silver proof version. Now, obviously, I didn't buy it back in 1972. I bought it on the secondary market when they were, sold by their weight as their 28.28 grams of sterling. So, these are all saleable by weight, but obviously collectors do pay a premium for the silver ones. So if you bought both of these at the same time, this one, what would you have bought for? What was the face value at the time? I can't remember now. Probably says it on there somewhere. Probably £1, is it? No, I can't see it. But anyway, but the face value of what that was in 1972 would probably have bought you quite a lot. But today it will be 25 pence. Unlike this, which back in 72, there's probably some historical data saying how much they were on release, but I don't know what they were. But they might have been £5, but they might have been £10, but they are still worth more than what they cost back in 1972 because of the silver content. Now, with the person from the Silver Forum who bought one of my slides, he received one of these, and I've literally been sending out a free one of these with every slide sold in from the UK between now and Christmas. So you will get a free spinning top if you buy a slide, either from me direct or on eBay. And he thought I'd sent him a fake because these sell for £18 on Chards. No, it's definitely real. It came in one of these boxes, £51, with the information leaflet and just like that. And unfortunately, because these are more collectible, the George and the Dragon design is more collectible than, shall we say, Charles and Diana. And probably because they're a lower mintage, or Churchill, they were 4 times face. But so they cost me 4 times face. Anyway, so the point of the video really was to say, if you're taking a coin collection into your LCS or you're trying to sell it, be aware that if you're the late person that left that to you has just been collecting copper nickel or old pennies or whatever, then it's likely to have, a minimal value. Yes, the other story was a friend of mine, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, he lost his father, and he knew that I collected coins, and he was so excited to to tell me and show me his late father's coin collection in all these very elaborate boxes with all the I think it was kings and queens of England or something, and I read the first certificate of one and realised that they were all just just copper nickel, and I said to him, they're just a collector item, they're only saleable to another collector. They don't they don't have an intrinsic value. And he was thinking that this whole collection would be worth thousands, when really you're going to have a job actually finding a buyer for it. but he did carry on with collecting the series to finish it off. So the point of the video really was to say, you know, if you are collecting coins, you might consider buying silver or gold coins rather than something with no intrinsic value, because down the line, even if you leave them to your kids or your spouse, they're going to be worth way more. Oh, there's the Mer Lion, for those who haven't seen it, from Singapore, which is silver, of course. So collecting these over these is far more financially beneficial. Yes, it's a hobby to collect coins, and there's nothing wrong with it, but just don't expect to, you know, for those to go up in value. I mean, you know, very few of these, you know, really are worth much more. The Kew Gardens, you know, they're really, you know, unlike, you know, silver or gold. Whereas these things, you know, the only use for them really is a lovely spinning top. Anyway, leave your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Bye.